Hey guys, it's Coach Brent. I'm over here at the hotel getting ready for another Kicking World camp. We got some new balls for our New Jersey camp here. I just want to show you a quick tutorial on how to properly pump up a football. All of these are all set. I got two of them here I didn't do. When we pump up footballs for our camps, we like to go about 11.5, 12 PSI. Most footballs, they're going to have what they recommend, and they usually say 13 on most. We usually go on the lower end. About 11.5 is what we found to be the best to give you the most pop, meaning the ball bounces off your foot really good. You get a little more distance, especially on a colder day. You don't want them to be too hard, because then it's very tough to kick the ball. We have a camp tomorrow in New Jersey. It's actually, talking about cold, it's going to be about 35 degrees tomorrow. So what I'm purposely doing right now is I'm pumping them up to about 12.5, knowing that tomorrow, when they're not in the hotel environment of 70 degrees, they'll probably go lose about a pound to a pound and a half PSI, so we might even have to re-add air. But if you go a little over on a cold night, you know that when the weather is different, 10 to 30 degrees lower, it'll probably drop 1 to 2 PSI more. So I'm just going to go ahead and pump one up and tell you a little bit more about this. It's really important to wet the needle. I know it sounds a little funny, but you got to do that so when it slides into the rubber piece, it doesn't puncture it. When we first started doing our camps, I would just deflate them really quickly before the flight, because we wanted to make sure that we got all the balls in and fit them in the airlines. Plus you have to deflate them or else they pop at the altitude change. But when we would have the people do it, we would just have them put the needle in really quick and step on the ball, and we found that the bladder would get messed up or this black piece would get embedded. So you have to be really careful to do it gently. So I'm going to do one. I'm going to put this in. We have a electrical compressor, but of course we have manual ones too that we use for on the field. Just turn it on. Let's see here. And then I like to watch the gauge to get it exact. We go for, again, about 11.5 to 12. And then once it hits that, I turn it off. Check the ball. Make sure it's good. And we're ready to rock. This is a new one we're trying out. This is the Alpha Spalding. We typically in the past have used the Spalding J5V Advance, which wizardkicking.com, if you go on their website, they'll give you a really good deal if you say Kicking World. So they have this ball. It's one of the packages we have on there. But yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit. So key point summary. Number one, keep your ball about 11 to 12. So we say 11.5 PSI. Number two, make sure you wet the needle before you put it into the black rubber piece of the football, or else you could puncture or embed it on the football, and it's very difficult the next time you try to re-inflate it after deflating it to get this in there. Number three, if you travel, so if you go to one of our camps in a different state, make sure you deflate your balls gently, and you don't want to keep them pumped up in your bag. Number one, it takes up too much room, and number two, they'll pop at the higher altitude. And number four, I guess it would be, just for a cold day, make sure you over pump them slightly, and for a warmer day, slightly under pump them if it's going to get warmer as the day goes along, because then the ball will be too hard if you pump it to 12.5, and then you start kicking at 6, or you start your practice at 6 in the morning, and then by noon, if you're still out there 9 or 10 or whatever, it'll be 20 degrees warmer, and then the ball actually inflates more on its own, and then you don't want that, because then it'll be way too hard. So hopefully that helps. We hope to see you at one of our camps. kickingworld.com. You could find our camp dates, locations, and find out more about what we do, both with camps, private lessons, and also check out my book and DVD on Amazon.com and on kickingworld.com. Okay, have a great day. Take care.